look, I have nothing for or against Ukraine. But do I think they're Nazis? No. Nazi's a pretty strong word.
You're right. Nazi is a pretty strong word, but it's for good. It's because they are Nazis. And they act like Nazis and they do Nazi things. So we call them Nazis because they are freaking Nazis. Thanks to our Obama administration, Biden, and don't forget John McCain, Lindsey Graham. So they helped put in these Nazis into the Ukrainian government. Yeah, that was pretty much what they did. They intervened in a sovereign nation's elections. Yeah, we do it all the time, jackasses. So we also train and occupy other countries with a proxy military. Oh, we commonly call them ISIS, or Chechens, or Islamic State, or al-Nusra. So yeah, that's pretty special there. Thanks, John McCain. Thanks, Lindsey Graham. Thanks, the United States government. Thanks, military. Good job. Proud of you guys. That's fucking sarcasm. Thanks a lot. So here's Joe Biden here helping out with the new Nazi they put into Ukrainian government as president. This looks familiar. What is this? Gosh darn, that looks like Charlottesville. It is. And it also looks like Ukraine. Can you tell the difference? Funny how that works. Huh. It's almost like we had, I don't know, Ukrainians here in Charlottesville. Huh. That is so crazy. It's almost like we had Ukrainians over here for January 6th. Oh, we did. Wow. That's crazy. It's almost like the Democrats imported them for that sole purpose. So here's some symbolism with the Ukrainian Nazis, the Azov battalion in their military, and some of the symbols for Nazis, neo-Nazis. And we can see they had it at Charlottesville too. Which one's which, right? Mm-hmm. Funny how that works. So who are neo-Nazis? Can you tell me? What's that? Yes, you're right. Antifa. Antifa is and originates from neo-Nazis. Ironic, isn't it? There's military training them. Thanks, U.S. military. Makes you feel good about your country, doesn't it? That one damn bit. So to be clear, the Nazis are promoted, funded, and trained by the Democratic Party, military, and the deep state. And neocons. Yes, neocons. Those sons of bitches. So it's not the right. Some people on the right, some people left. Yep. Victoria Nolan helped out. CIA is a big trainer there too. Look at this. Back to Antifa, right? And Libya. These were found in both those places, as well as Syria and Iraq. And here's an article now to tell you more. So when people say Nazis are in Ukraine, that's because they fucking are. And when Putin says he's going in there to take the Nazis out, it's exactly what he's doing. I hope this helped you. And if so, please reach out to me and I can help you with any other subject like this. Take care.
It has just been revealed that the U.S. has supplied military assistance to the Azov Battalion, a far-right militia known as a bastion of neo-Nazism within the Ukrainian armed forces. Max Blumenthal is a best-selling author and senior editor of the Gray Zone Project. His recent piece, published by The Real News, is called "The U.S. is Arming and Assisting Neo-Nazis in Ukraine While Congress Debates Prohibition." Welcome, Max. Let's start with what you have reported for The Real News about Ukraine. You call this a truly scandalous episode of close to covert U.S. support for neo-Nazism in Ukraine. Explain what's going on there.
Yeah, the Azov Battalion is essentially a militia that's grown out of the Patriot of Ukraine party, which was a neo-Nazi white nationalist party founded by a street demagogue named Andrei Beletsky, who has pledged to restore the honor of the white race, in his words, has through his national or social national party in the Ukrainian parliament advanced laws forbidding race mixing, this kind of thing. And the Azov Battalion became active after the civil war began in the Donbass region in eastern Ukraine, when pro-Russian separatists sought to secede, partly because of the neo-Nazi incipiency in Kiev. They didn't want any part of it. They speak Russian. Their language is not going to be recognized by the new government. And so the Azov Battalion was ultimately incorporated into the country's National Guard and military through the Ministry of Interior, through Arsen Avakov, who's been basically a supporter of its agenda all along. He also at one point installed another figure from Patriot of Ukraine, Dmitry Yarosh, as the police commissioner in Kiev. This is another neo-Nazi figure. And, all along we saw these denials, especially in 2014 during the Maidan so-called Revolution of Dignity, which was actually a right-wing nationalist coup against a democratically elected government. We heard liberal voices like Timothy Snyder or neoconservative operatives like Jamie Kirchick deny the very existence of neo-Nazism in the ranks of the Maidan. Now I think it's very clear that Azov is on the march, and I'll get to that in a minute. What I did here at The Real News was compile a series of reports, including from Azov's own website, that demonstrate that U.S. military trainers have visited Azov in the field to train and exchange logistical information. They appeared in uniform with Azov battalion members who are wearing the Wolf's Angel patch, which is a Nazi SS symbol, a runic neo-Nazi symbol on their arm. This is just a scandalous spectacle. Not only that, contracts have been revealed showing that the Texas-based Airtronic Arms Company has produced PSRL-1 grenade launchers that were actually authorized under the watch of the State Department and delivered directly into the hands of the Azov battalion. So the U.S. has armed Azov. Azov actually scrubbed photographs from its website that showed them in the field with those very weapons.
While the Ukrainian political clowns entertain the international community, Kiev forces are using the moment to do what damage they can to the DPR and LPR, while the Russians have not really deployed troops there. According to reports, the Ukrainian military launched over 5,000 shells of various types on targets in Donbass. It uses heavy weapons, larger caliber mortars, and artillery. Over 120 cases of the ceasefire regime violations have been reported by the DPR and the LPR during the last 24 hours. On top of this, Kiev sabotage squads continue attempts to stage terrorist attacks inside the republics. The Kiev regime is using every hour of the absence of the Russian military to terrorize civilians. Nonetheless, these happy hours are about to end. The movement of Russian troops and equipment in the regions close to the border indicate that the Kremlin declaration of readiness to help the people of the DPR and the LPR is no joke. In this light, the words of Putin that Russia will find, take to court, and punish those responsible for war crimes in Ukraine should be considered as an act of humanity. Those Kiev regime puppets who will remain on the front line will be eliminated. Mighty Ukrainian soldiers still have a chance to save themselves by laying down weapons, making a blitzkrieg back to their homes, and then advancing towards obtaining their much-desired low-paid jobs in neighboring countries.